a child, she gave me my tithing envelope. Had a little allowance about the amount of about $1 and some change. And she said, you got to give it back to the Lord. Now, that didn't leave me with too much to work with. Give me a few pieces of bubble gum. But she gave me those principles to live upon.
Yes. Okay.
So from her house to going to college, I held on to those principles.
All right.
Through the times of lack, through the times of plenty, she taught me that God will always provide if you can have faith in Him. I'm talking to people. We all are living in some times where we are challenged on every side, but I believe the Bible is still true.
Yes.
Right.
God responds to your gracious giving. And every day of my life, He gives me strength for my journey.
Yes.
Every day of my life, He gives me peace that surpasses all understanding. I want to encourage you not to just have godly living, but to understand that godly living comes with gracious giving. That we ought to find ourselves not only giving to God, but also realizing that there are places in this city that need our assistance. That there are people that are hurting, that are struggling in a land of plenty. We need to yield our resources and our time and our energy to them.
Yes.
This is an opportunity to not only run to God, but to run for
Him.
To give according to Him. Well, I lost you with that part of the sermon. But before I close that point, you want to talk about meeting the need. Now, we announced to you a few weeks ago that we have a need to increase our transportation ministry. That it will strengthen the evangelism arm of this church. That we are not to be so comfortable in our pews, but we ought to go both far and near to bring people that cannot bring themselves to God. You talk about gracious giving. That's a good place to start today. He said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. David says, and I close, I've got history with God. And I believe there's somebody in the room today that can look back over your life and testify that it's been my experience with God that has kept me through the darkest and dreariest valley. It has been my experience with God that has allowed me to conduct myself with Christian class, even in the midst of controversy and conflict. It is my experience with God that has allowed me to remain focused on what He's called me to do. And I believe there's somebody in the room today that can testify God will walk with you. God will talk with you. God will encourage your heart. There's been moments in your life where you almost lost your mind, but you ought to thank God today that God has never left you alone. I'm in my seat, but it reminds me, as we think about Senior Citizens Day today, I still think about my grandmother. And I miss her to this day. And let me just say parenthetically, young people, if you still have a grandmother or grandfather alive, you ought to take some time to spend time with them. In fact, I want to challenge all of the young people in this church and those that may not have arrived yet to an age of being a senior citizen, to find some senior citizen within St. Timothy that you can devote your time, your energy, and your resources to. We've got to cover them because they covered us. Reminds me today. My grandmother lived on a steep hill called Asman Road. It is a very uncomfortable hill to travel up. She lived at the bottom of the hill, and a cousin of mine lived on the top of the hill. And you know, when it comes to grandma's love, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low. You're not going to keep grandmama away from her grandbaby. So she said, grandson, we got to go up the hill. We got to take our little folk back home up the hill. And so I said, well, grandmama, let's go. Now, it was hot like this. And we're traveling up this hill. And you know, as David said, I was young. We used to run up that hill. Now my steps have gotten short.
Yes.
But thank God I'm still walking.
Right.
She begins to we make that journey up this hill on Asner Road. I'm telling you the truth. You look it up right there in the heart of Avondale. She goes up this hill, and I hold her by her arm because she had gotten weak over the journey, but we kept on walking. My cousins got a little restless, so they decided to run ahead of us, but I stayed with grandmother. Now she got discouraged along the way. There's some moments, be honest with you, we had to stop for a break. But we didn't turn back because we had come too far to turn back at that point. So we kept on walking. I'll never forget what she said. She said, "Thank you for walking with me." And it ought to be some senior today. And that's your testimony today. Thank you, God, for walking with me. I was young, now I'm old. But thank you, God, for walking with me. I wish I had some witnesses in here that could look back over your life and testify, thank you, God, for walking with me. Is there anybody in the sanctuary today that I come to give God some praise? Because I've got some history with God. Because if it had not been for the Lord that was on my side, I would have lost a long time ago. But thank God for His grace. Grace had the power to grab me. Thank God for His mercy. Mercy met me where I was. Thank God for His favor that found me. And I can testify that the Lord hasn't brought me this far to leave me. You want to turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, the reason why I'm praising God today is because God has brought me from a mighty long way. I should have been dead sleeping in my grave, but thank God that He kept me. I wish I had some kept people in the house today that can testify the Lord will walk with you. I wish I had somebody today that's been in the sorrow's valley, but He still walked with you. Is there anybody that can testify? I've been on the mountaintop, but God still walked with me. He walked with me when I was on my job. He walked with me in the unemployment line. He walked with me in the hospital. He walked with me in the courtroom. You want to stand and be a witness today that God will walk with you. And that's why the songwriter said, He walks with me and He talks with me and He tells me that I am His own. And the joy we share as we tarry there like none other has ever known. You ought to have a praise break all by yourself. Thank you, God, for walking with me. Thank you, God, for talking with me. Thank you, God, for leading me. Thank you, God, for loving me. Thank you, God, for believing in me. Thank you, God, for loving me. Thank you, God, for making ways for me. I wish I had a witness today that you can look back over your life and testify. I ain't going by what I heard. I'm going by what I know. And the Lord has brought me from a mighty long way. You ought to bother your neighbor real quick and say, neighbor, the reason why I'm praising Him is because He's done so much for me. That was the wrong neighbor. You ought to turn to the other neighbor. That other neighbor ain't saying nothing all service. You ought to tell somebody, when I think about the goodness of Jesus and all He's done for me, my soul cries out, hallelujah. Thank you, God, for saving me. I should have lost my mind, but you kept me. I should have gave up, but you never left me. Is there anybody in the house today that can testify? I thank God that I've got history with Him. And I could say like David said, I was young, but now I'm old. And I've never, you want to say that to somebody, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor seen begging bread. But let me tell you what I have seen. I've seen the lightning flash. I've heard the thunder roll. I've felt sin breakers dashing, trying to conquer my soul. But I heard Jesus say, no, never alone. He promised, and you got that same promise. He promised never to leave me, never to leave me alone. Goodbye, St. Timothy. May the Lord God bless you real good. But I am God, hallelujah, happy. And glory to God, glad. Because when I think about how He saved me, when I think about how He made me, when I think about how He molded me, I can't help but lift up holy hands and say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. You want to say yes? Yes. 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 If you really want to know why you have people around you, and sometimes you'll see them crying when nothing's wrong.
Amen.
Sometimes you'll see them running when nobody's chasing them. Sometimes you'll see that brother or sister that seem to be in their own world when they come to worship.
Yes, Lord.
It's because they've got history. You want to know why we gathered here today? It's because we want to thank God
Thank you, Lord.
for our history. All the doors are closed at this point. We're about to send an invitation. And maybe somebody here that needs to come.